So today we're going to take a little closer look at Green Destiny. Now this is the Geon from Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon that we made. Ferenc Gregor, we leaned so heavy on him for this sword. It's a fairly light, small Damascus blade. Obviously heat treating, keeping it straight is the biggest problem there, but really not that difficult of a blade to do. But the etching with the dragons going down, we have to do these things very quickly, and so it ended up being fairly last minute where Ferenc actually had to go through and draw all of these dragons on both sides of the sword prior to us being able to finish it, because when we do the etching, they're painted on there. The paint is a resist, keeps the acid from etching the blade, so it all had to be done first rather than something that we would engrave afterwards. And of course, the jade work that he did, both the pommel section and the side plates, it's the kind of thing that usually, if you're working on a project like this is probably a good month-long project, and we had like 3 days. So we had very little time where we could do this work. And so we kind of worked around the clock, and at the end, once the jade was all done and fitted and polished, that's when we were like, hey, we need you to paint these dragons. And Ferenc is really a great craftsman and a good friend, and he just steps right up and makes everything happen. He's in with both feet to make sure that we can complete this. As a sword of this form is concerned, it's not particularly light. It's 1,100 grams, so roughly 2.5 pounds in that range. But most of that is the fact that we've got real jade slabs. Of course, the ones that you see or the replicas that you can buy, they just have pieces of plastic on there that don't have any weight, whereas these are actually stone. They're a little over 1/4 inch thick. If the jade was thinner, it would be extremely fragile. Then it would have to be on some kind of backer, and then that would have weight. So we just went ahead and went with the slabs that you see. If you go back and watch the actual episode where we're making this sword, we've got a big block of jade, and we slice these pieces ourselves, cut them by hand here. So we have full lapidary and polishing. The dust from the jade itself is kind of toxic, so you don't want to breathe it. So that's why if you go back and watch, he's typically masked up, and he's almost always working with it wet because that keeps the dust down. Outside of that, it's a fairly standard blade. Still, extremely straight. You can see down it, extremely straight coming out of heat treating, and it stayed that way and through the testing. Just kind of had it set aside here in the shop for a while, but has maintained its surfaces really well. And at some point in time, we may remove the jade and go back and polish some of the pieces that we didn't have time to do. But very happy with the sword. I think it's super cool. Click the logo to subscribe, or click one of the videos to see more here on the Baltimore Knife and Sword channel, or go to Almy and watch Man at Arms.